Hi, it's Gary here. Just giving you my July update of things that are going on with my photography, and I've got pretty big news. Last night I had an email from my publishers to say that within the next 48 to 72 hours the book will be published. So yeah, it's a good chance it's going to be Friday, but there is also a chance that it will be released tomorrow. And I have been thinking this morning there was something very, very relevant about maybe tomorrow or Friday, and I've been kind of racking my brains, and it just dawned on me from a conversation I had with I think it might have been Jolie the last time I saw her, is that we ought to do another Tuesday club, and she was saying, oh yeah, it'd be a really good idea, and maybe we should do it around Patty's birthday. Well, it turns out tomorrow is Patty's birthday, so there's a chance that it's not unusual. My tribute to Patty Bell could be released tomorrow. Highly likely Friday though. So anyway, here we are. Yes, after a long time, and me saying, oh, it's nearly ready, we seem to be just on the absolute threshold of it being available to the public. Yeah, it's been a great deal of, well, no, not necessarily it's a great deal of, it's been an interesting journey. I certainly would not have said the intention was to create a book for the general public. It really was just for Patty. As I just so happened to be sitting next to her in the Dark Horse when Dylan rang up and said, hey mom, your clothes are on the Antiques Roadshow. And that sort of started me off with the process of thinking about, well, somebody's obviously kept some old Carn and Bell gear in their attics, hanging up in their wardrobe, something like that, I don't know. But yes, it prompted me to think that vintage garments may still exist. After a bit of a slow start with it, and people saying, oh, I might, or I think I have, but they've been loaned out and worn and never returned. But then, absolute sheer coincidence, bringing up the subject of going to the Tuesday Club to Karen Jebb, my good friend, and her reaction was to say that she'd got a couple of suitcases of Carn and Bell gear in the attic. So that, yes, those were the catalysts that started it all off. And I just thought, hey, it'd be really, really nice to show Patty that people still revered their clothes. And one of the things that I've gained from this experience is that the love that people have for Carn and Bell was a lot to do with the experiences they had wearing their clothes. And I'm going to sort of circle round to something that Twiggy said at the time. Though Carn and Bell were right for the time. We needed some glamour, but we didn't know it. But Carn and Bell, they were there, and did they recognise the need for frills and flounces? Who knows? Maybe that will be revealed later on. I don't know. So yeah, Carn and Bell, very, very influential to the whole music scene at the time. If you watch Top of the Pops in the 80s, you see a lot of Carlin Bell. So anyway, here we are. Yes, the book on the threshold of being released. It wasn't initially my intention to actually write a book because I certainly don't know the actual history of Carlin Bell. I was very much somebody that was an observer of it, and I wish I could say I was one of their regular customers, but I wasn't. I certainly I knew I'd been a few times and I bought a few items, but I certainly knew that Carlin Bell existed, and I followed what I could do in the music press and on television and what I could, and I can remember a point when I was in the last few months of living in London. There was a magazine that came out, New Sounds, New Style, and there was a small feature about Carlin Bell, and there was this picture of this amazing looking guy in a beautiful tailored black suit and a lady all wearing white. The man in the black suit turned out to be Gay John, who I eventually got to know. I'm saying the last 15 years or so, and what an absolutely lovely gentleman he was. Super stylish, super kind, super funny, just such an amazing person. And he was another person that contributed to making the pictures look fantastic with the loan of his amazing feather jacket. I'm rambling a little bit here now. So anyway, yes, the book. There was no intention for me to write a book about it and say I certainly didn't know the history of Carlin Bell. This is the book. This book is a reflection of the environment that I grew up in, with the influences, the people, and the places, and the things that influenced me to get me to where I am now, which is age of 63, publishing a book, which is almost like a little bit of insanity. I don't do bucket lists or anything like that, but it was certainly not something that was a priority in my mindset in the last few years at all. And it was only when I went to the celebration night for Gay John at Spotted Dog. A couple of people said to me, where can I get a copy of this book? And I said, well, no, actually, there was only 12 made, and they were for Patty, for the people that contributed to the book, giving up their time, their vibe, their energy, and allowing me to realise my vision, which is quite a humbling thing, really. And I had so much fun doing it, and it came when I was actually taking the photographs. It was at a time when lockdown had happened, so much had changed in our world at the time, so to navigate through that was actually an interesting process, and also working with people friends, there's a couple of people I didn't know well at all and have subsequently become good friends. So the actual experience was absolutely wonderful, and I did it in my own little way, which was kind of makeshift and using what you got, banging all your old influences in, and responding to changes, and so I do mention it in the book. One of the pivotal images for me is the picture of Twig and Rob in Bradford Street. And so my original vision was it ought to be dark and grungy and street lights and things like that, but